both have a handful of fights. You know, a couple wins, a couple losses, so they're a little bit more experienced. And you see that as we get kind of moving up in this card, the more experienced guys come out. So I look for this to be a little bit more of a, I want to say technical fight, but then again I say that, and it could just come out as being a slugfest. So.
Yeah, you know,
Ladies and gentlemen, our third bout of the evening is scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds in the lightweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. This man has a record of 3 wins and 2 losses. Representing Brookfield Fight Team by way of Brookfield, Missouri. Please welcome Cale Horton. And across the cage out of the red corner, this man has a record of 2 wins and 2 defeats. Representing Grappling Concepts by way of Nixa, Missouri. Please put your hands together for Chandler McAtee.
So the first thing I noticed, guys, is it looks like Chandler's got a little bit more of a reach. So right away I just think, okay, you want to pump that jab, keep it in his face, keep it at your range.
Yeah, from coming out of a grappling gym, Chandler McAtee definitely has some electric hands. He does a great job getting that jab going. Sometimes, you know, like we see there, maybe a little extensive on it, but.
Oh, right hand rocked him. Right hand rocked him.
And on the
and a big takedown, too.
Chandler McAtee doing a good job with that collar tie and climbing his guard early to stay safe.
Cale clipped him with that right hand.
He's already over the shoulder, though.
Pretty solid shot there.
He's got this top lock working here. He's got to start climbing his hips a little bit more to the right here.
Yeah, McAtee just shook off that takedown. He's like, that was easy. And then 1 second later, ate a big right from Horton. Now we're here.
Well, Horton looks like he packs a little bit of power. He's kind of got a muscular frame.
Doing a great job climbing the guard here into the top lock and staying tight. Pulling his shin to him to control the posture of
grabbing the
Horton.
leg, too.
Nice sweep there.
Incredible sweep. Almost had that armbar attempt, but ends up on top,
pass.
out the back door.
Arm
right
triangle.
into an arm triangle. That
Man.
was slick.
Like I said,
turning towards him.
Doesn't really have the position, though, guys. And
Yeah.
Justin, you can speak to this.
yeah, moved backwards into the guard and kind of gave up on the arm triangle position. I would like to see him stay in the half guard for a little bit longer, but back on the feet and where he is more comfortable to get his hands going.
Ooh, big kick out of Cale. He needs to keep that distance. His striking was working earlier in the fight, and I do think that Chandler's got
Great takedown there from Chandler McAtee.
I was just gonna say, I think Chandler's got a little bit of the grappling advantage. So if I was Cale, I would have probably tried to keep it standing a little bit longer.
You know, I've called both of these gentlemen fighting multiple times now. I would have put a lot of money on Chandler McAtee looking to keep this standing, but his guard is super active tonight. I mean, more active than I've seen it so far, and his grappling looks phenomenal for, you know, a 2-2 amateur fighter.
He's got a good position here.
Well, he's doing a great job not letting Cale Horton get that inside elbow back. The second he gets that inside elbow back inside the hip pocket is when he can start to frame, re-guard, and really start to give Chandler McAtee some problems. But, you know, he's turning the chin, doing a good job making things uncomfortable for Cale Horton. But if I'm Chandler McAtee, I'm looking to slide that right knee into maybe a knee on belly, maybe a little bit of a combat mount. Hell, even go to half guard if you have to really control that bottom hip and stop from getting turned here.
Yeah, I think he tried that knee on belly a second ago, and he felt the pressure or the momentum start to flip him over, and he bailed out of it.
Because Cale's is just a strong guy. He might have a bit of a strength advantage.
You know, and a guy like Cale, who for sure does have the strength advantage, is waiting for that knee to come over and give that big bridge to create the opportunity. But we see the scramble there, and back to his feet.
Wow, what a first round. What a first round.
Back and forth from both gentlemen. I mean, the striking goes to Cale Horton, the grappling goes to Chandler McAtee. I mean,
well, if you look at Cale, he was just putting a death stare through Chandler across the cage right there. That I got to give that round to I think I got to give it to Chandler just because a little bit more ground control. But then he was cracked with a big right hand and got a little wobbly for a second.
Yeah, it showed great composure, you know, especially for an amateur competitor to recover after eating a big shot like that and in the round in top position for the most part.
think he goes back to that takedown, Adam, in round two?
I would, if I was his coaches, I would say, hey, let's get some hands going to bring up his guard, and then just shoot a takedown, try to get back on the ground.
Get him outside
Round two.
the little octagon of death we see here in the center of the cage, get his back up against the fence, and work for that takedown again.
Yeah, and I think on the flip side, Cale's corner probably said, hey, man, you hit him with your hands, you hurt him. Let's go back to the boxing. Let's keep it going.
And if you're McAtee, you dropped your last 2 MMA fights. You're looking for the win by any means you can in this fight.
And, you know,
oh, big head
wow.
kick. That rocked him a little bit.
The open
Straight shin.
The open stance causing some problems from Chandler McAtee, but going into autopilot as soon as he gets hit.
Yeah, Cale made the mistake of throwing the kick and getting excited, right? And that's what these young amateurs, they get a little excited.
Teddy Atlas calls it taking pictures.
Twister?
Yes.
You get caught up in the beauty of your own shots here.
I don't think he's got the twister there. What Chandler needs to do is just kind of throw his weight and get on top. Just like
Yeah, there it is. There it is. Good call, Adam. Said something to us there. What did he say?
He said thank you. You know,
that was a little bit of the DC on me, my bad.
In that 50-50 position there, both gentlemen backs on the map, but inside elbow control. At that point, it really is about who wants the top position more. And, you know, both guys might have been taking a breath, kind of collecting their bearings for a second, but, man, I couldn't imagine.
Well, Cale looks like he's about to get up. Oh,
It's almost.
Ooh,
Throw up a
loose triangle attempt here.
He's got the position right now.
And an arm,
Pulling
too.
the arm across. Chandler McAtee dipping his head.
Cale has that triangle. If he could focus for a second, reach up and secure that spot.
Grabbing the outside heel, which is the right move
And
to
it
make.
looks like it's tight.
No, the triangle's not there, but the arm, he kind of aborted the triangle and went for the arm, which ended up being a benefit for Chandler because I think he was out of that danger.
If Chandler just lifts his head up here towards the lock, he'll be okay.
Gets his head free.
Now he's got to start to circle his weight towards the hip.
Chandler's got the toe hold right there.
Uh-oh. If he can punch his wrist a little bit deeper all the way through, he can get the toe hold.
Yeah,
He's just got to punch his wrist deeper and he's got it.
I just watched a video on toe holds.
Yep. The dribble toe hold from Craig Jones.
Yes,
punching the wrist through.
The same video, yes. And so when I see that, that's the first thing I thought of.
He's got the heel hook attempt here, which is illegal. If he's got to switch it to a straight ankle if he wants to finish.
Well, if Cale comes up on top, if he stays heavy here, this is one of my favorite positions right here. Stay heavy, let Chandler kind of calm down.
And open his guard himself with the pressure, right?
Yeah, and start looking to punch to pass. It's old school mentality, but in jiu-jitsu, you start punching, things start opening up.
Absolutely, you know. I trained with, for a long time, possibly the best black belt I've ever seen, Matt Ricehouse. And rule number 1 is always protect your face no matter where you're at in any position in grappling. And,
yeah, Matt was that guy that I would have liked to see him be more active and do more. Because I remember he fought one of my teammates and just completely dominated the fight on Strikeforce back in the day.
I mean, truly one of the most unsung heroes of the Midwest mixed martial arts scene, with the best advice I've ever gotten in all of grappling. Keep your face safe at all times.
Yeah.
Right? But incredible round here from both gentlemen. I mean, Chandler McAtee, once again, you know, almost like a carbon copy of the first round. It's a big shot as we get going. Eats another one and then finds his home in the grappling exchanges. You know, Coach Johnny Williams in his corner tonight, I think, you know, we still have a lot to see in here in round number 3 for both guys.
Yeah. So here's the thing, though. The difference, though, is Cale got on top, or got that triangle attempt, then got on top throwing some shots. I think on the ground, I think Cale was actually a little more, took a slight advantage because he was throwing up attempts.
Yeah, had him in the triangle, transition to armbar. Adam, you got some coaching in right there in that round.
Yeah, so
that was nice.
I think yeah, I got some coaching. I should send him a bill. I'd like to see Cale go for another big shot here, and Chandler obviously should close that distance.
Yeah, he's had him hurt.
Ooh,
a couple
nice
times.
jab. See how Cale his momentum keeps going so far forward. Oh, big
wow!
slam.
Oh my God!
Wow.
right in front of us again.
Ooh, loose Darce attempt here.
He does, yes. I like that Darce.
He's got to get his hands locked back together. He's got to get back underneath the elbow if he wants to have any chance of finishing this. But if anything, he's got to start to get his head up and off the mat so he can stay safe here and over that shoulder.
Yeah, it's not an ideal position for Cale right now, but look at that strength. Wow, he needs to stand up. He missed his chance to stand up right there.
Wow.
Great job taking the back.
Chandler McAtee just in autopilot here with the grappling exchanges. Flowing incredibly well, working for the arm triangle on the back side, forces the back here and gets his other hook in.
Shout out Grappling Concepts, Nixa. One of their better prospects right here, Chandler McAtee.
Absolutely. Coach Johnny Humes in the corner tonight. I've had the pleasure of rolling with Johnny a few times at Springfield Fight Club. A leg lock wizard, but, shouted some great instruction here for the top control of Chandler McAtee. 3 fights up, and we are into our third round of the evening.
No finishes quite yet. Still got some time in this one.
For having no finishes, it is been absolutely action-packed.
Absolutely,
since
Justin.
the second we started. A testament to the matchmaking of Chris Gregory, Synergy FC owner and matchmaker. Yeah, I see Dana White giving guys jobs who are winning contests offline. He needs to start watching cards like this. Chandler McAtee doing a great job staying behind the shoulders and keeping double underhooks until he's got the chin opened up here. This is close.
Trying to squeeze.
If he can start to get this bulldog choke all the way back over the top of his shoulder, right? So he's got the left hand underneath the chin. He's got to grab his own pinky and pull it across, but electing to stay safe and keep the back here.
Oh, he's trying
Staying
to roll
behind
through.
the shoulders is the ultimate for keeping the back control here.
Oh, that's in. That's tight.
That's in.
That is bad news.
Can Horton hang on?
Cale Horton's a gangster. He's pulling that top hand. He's not giving up. This is a guy you have to put out completely. I'll be very shocked if we see him tap. He's going to keep fighting.
He's getting flatter and flatter.
And this is tight as
squeezing.
can be. Chandler McAtee, he's got to just crunch his shoulders in, start to bring his chin to his chest here. I think we're going to see Cale Horton go out. This is super tight.
I can't
10
tell if
seconds
it's
left.
under the neck.
Nope, not anymore, but now he's cinched it back up. He readjusted, but I don't think there's enough time.
And there it is.
Wow. Incredible performance by Chandler McAtee. Down 2-0 in his last 2 fights to come back with a finish over Cale Horton.
That was a great fight, guys.
At the very final bell, he gets a tap from Cale Horton.
Man.
McAtee's back in the win column.
Adversity from the opening round for Chandler McAtee is able to weather the storm at the beginning of both rounds, implement his grappling skills, and finally weather down Cale Horton and get the finish.
Yeah, I actually think he might have needed that finish.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's debatable, but that was close.
You said adjusting that final adjustment with just 10 seconds to go. He was able to squeeze and Cale Horton tap.
Less than 10 seconds remained in round number 3.
That might have been right at the 1 second mark. That was tight.
And credit to Cale, he hung out there through all the readjustments, all the hand fighting, everything it took to get it going. And we're going to take it to the mental sensei for our final announcement.
Ladies and gentlemen, our third bout of the evening ends at 2 minutes and 56 seconds in the third round by rear naked choke. Your winner out of the red corner, Chandler McAtee.
Chandler McAtee ending a 2-fight skid. And man, this is a kid who has put everything he has into this sport and has fought the toughest competitors that Synergy FC and Fighting Alliance Championships has had to offer him. And, after dropping 2 straight, you see a lot of people at the amateur level, they just give up and back down. And this is a kid who has never been out of any fight that he has been in. Dropped twice in this one, still to come back and get to finish himself. I mean, the resiliency of these guys is unheard of.
And that is